Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2.
This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stuffs it the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
What a play! What a kill by Brewstad!
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, on to the game.
It's a wonderful Friday night here on the Palouse. It's a Friday night of basketball as we have a doubleheader tonight for both the men and the women. We're going to start things off with the women taking on the three-time national champions and former Pac-12 opponent, the Stanford Cardinal Cougs, come into this one 0-75 all time against Stanford, looking for their first ever win against Stanford. Stanford has also won 29 of their last 32 meetings by double digits. Declan Curran here with Nathan Eshelman. Nathan, what do the Cougs need to do to not only pull off the upset, what do the Cougs need to do to pull off the upset and beat Stanford for the first time ever?
Well, I mean, really, the all-time record, 0-75 versus Stanford, looks really bad on the rep sheet. And there were some competitive years in recent years. 2024, Cougars did end up losing by double digits, but they at least held their way in it. This season, though, it's going to be tough. The Stanford Cardinal look amazing. They're winning games by plus 30 points each time. And the Cougars are coming off of 2 tough losses by 13 points each after a hard 17 turnovers a game. Their shooting has been a little bit underwhelming with only 40% from the field and 20% from the three-point line. That's just really not what you want to see. And then from the free throw line, they're only hitting 68% of the free throw line shots, and you got to be better from the cherry stripe if you're the Cougars.
Yeah, well, by far the best player this year for the Cougs so far has been the junior out of Italy, Eleanor Villa. What do the Cougs need to do to make sure that she stays in the game the entire time?
Well, Eleanor Villa has been spectacular so far this season. She's averaging over 21 points per game, and it's by far the leading scorer and the leading proprietor on the offense. She's only missing 3 minutes of game time per game. Really an iron woman in the game herself. And the Cougars, they are a very international team. They only have 3 Americans in 10 total countries when you combine the total. And there's so many different cultures combining onto a court, and that can make some practices hard. But once you get further in the season, and we're in our 4th game now, I think the Cougars could have a little bit of better team chemistry and more balanced scoring, because the next best scorer after Villa is Keandra Koritz, who only has 10.7 points per game.
Yeah, and looking at a little further into this matchup, Stanford only has 1 transfer on their team, which is the fewest among all Power 4 programs. The next closest teams are NC State, University of Washington, and University of Oklahoma, who each have 2, and they also have the number 3 recruiting class in the nation. So the Cougs are definitely going to have to try to find a way to stop all of those players from scoring a lot of buckets.
Well, the team chemistry for Stanford is probably a lot better right now at the moment than the Cougars. When you have so many different cultures combining, team practices in the offseason definitely help. But once you get into the actual gameplay of the season, when you go up against teams that have been practicing for a couple of years now with each other, it's going to be hard to stop them. And the Cardinal have a very balanced attack. Their leading scorer is 14, but then there's 3 scorers right below them with 12 or more points. And that is just going to be very hard to stop. They're very balanced with the rock. They shoot very well so far this season. 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line. And that's really helping their totals. And with the defensive side of the ball, they only give up 50 points a game, which is insane compared to their 85 points scored. And they have 5 blocks per game, 8 steals, just every single statistical category possible. The Cardinal have been dominant this season.
Yeah, well, the Cougs are going to have to they're going to be playing this game without the tallest player on the team, Alex Coville. She got injured during the UNLV game, missed all the Southern Utah game, and we saw her warming up on the court pregame. She had a boot on her left leg, so that's definitely going to be something the Cougs are going to miss in terms of size. But they still have other 6 feet tall players that the Cougs can rely on.
The size problem might actually be an issue for the Cougars. While they do have a couple other 6-footers on the team, Stanford Cardinal, they have a lot of players that are above 6 foot, and they run them down the court. So what I think the Cougars will have to do is utilize their speed and try to be better with outside shooting. Just get those percentages up and try to get any type of scoring against the Cardinal, who have been amazing on both offense and defense. And last game for the Cardinal, they shot over 50% from 3, and that is something the Cougars probably need to hone in on. They can't give up 3-pointers because that could really kill them. Another factor for this game is the Cougars have been pretty decent in the first half. They've held themselves in games, even in the second quarter. They have a positive plus minus, but once the second half starts, the Cougars just do not perform the way that they want to. They have a minus 27 points differential in the second half alone, and that's something that they just need to be better on. What if they can stay in this game second half? They got to focus and keep themselves in the game and not fall away. And honestly, with the Cardinals having this dominant of a season, if they don't win by 20 points or more, this could be a disappointing win for them.
Yeah, I think another key for the Cougs is to stop the Stanford currently has 4 players to average at least 12 points per game this season in Mara Shamfai, Nunu Aguera, Chloe Cardi, and Haley Swain, and that's tied for 6th nationally. So those players are going to be a problem for the Cougs. They're going to want to try to slow them down too.
Well, it's a very balanced attack because just on top of those guys, there's also 2 scorers that have 8 or more points per game. It's just really a well-balanced attack, and they have 2 people with 3 or more assists, but everyone passes the ball so well that they combine for about 15.7 assists per game. When they just pass the rock around the court, they know where to find their people that are going to be open with easy shots, and they take those easy shots, and most of the time they make them.
Yeah, well, we're just about a minute and a half from national anthem and starting lineup, so we will take a break and be back shortly for the opening tip-off between the Stanford Cardinal and your Washington State Cougars. This is Washington State women's basketball here on KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. Welcome to Beasley Coliseum for today's matchup between the Stanford Cardinal and your Washington State Cougar. And now let's get the game starting lineups presented by Keeson Credit Union. First, visiting Cardinal. At guard, a freshman from Marietta, Georgia, number 2, Haley Swain. At forward, a junior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 3, Nunu Aguera. At guard, a senior from Alameda, California, number 10, Tamana Lapolo. At forward, a freshman from Adelaide, Australia, number 12, Laura Shamfai. And at forward, a junior from Atlanta, Georgia, number 40, Courtney Ogden. The Cardinals are led by head coach Kit Hager. That's a matchup, children. She's wide open. Two left over. Oh, nothing but net for Abraham. Now let's meet the stars for the coup. Back guard, junior from the Soda number 2,
And we're back here inside of Beasley Coliseum, just about set for tip-off. 3 minutes away between the Stanford Cardinal and your Washington State Cougars. Starting lineups were just announced for Stanford. It's going to be the freshman guard out of Marietta, Georgia, Haley Swain. Nunu Aguirre, the 6'2 junior out of Minneapolis. Talana Lapolo, the senior guard out of Alameda, California. Laura Shamfai, the freshman forward out of Adelaide, Australia, and Courtney Ogden, the junior out of Atlanta. Led by Kate Pay in her second season, was an assistant on the Stanford team up until Tara Vanderveer retired. For the Cougs, it'll be the junior guard out of Lisone, Italy, Eleonora Villa, the junior guard out of Auckland, New Zealand, Mackenzie Chatfield, the freshman forward out of Ljubljana, Slovenia, Tanya Valancic, the sophomore guard out of Cambrai, France, Charlotte Abraham, and the 6'2 freshman forward from Pasco, number 55, Malia Rude, who's led by Cami Etheridge in her 8th season. Stanford wearing the black jerseys with black pants today. Cougs going with the white jerseys with the white pants. Stanford is ready to tip off. They are at center court. Cougs are still in their huddle.
Something interesting to note about the starting lineups is the Cougars trusting the 6'2 freshman in Amelia Rude. She's going to be the tallest player on the court, at least for the starters, staying at 6'2". Compared to Stanford, they're a little undersized, but that's, as I said in the pregame, I think the Cougars will rely a little bit on small ball, try to push the pace of the game and get good open opportunities.
And the Cougs now just break out of their huddle, so we're about ready to start this one. Cami Etheridge out there with the starters now, getting a couple last-second adjustments ready. It's going to be Nunu Aguirre and Malia Rude at center court to tip this thing off. Our lead official, Benny Luna, standing just in front of the announcer's table, and he's making his way to center court. Our officials today, Benny Luna, Corey Long, and Cheryl Blue. And we are underway. Stanford wins the tip. First possession is with Talana Lopolo. Now it's over to Courtney Ogden. Laura Chamfille drives to the lane, doesn't score. Fought for the rebound, taken away by the Cougs. It's Mackenzie Chatfield. Top of the key finds Melina Rude over there. Drives around the defense, finds Tanya Valancic. Open is Chatfield. Her jumper is good. Cougs with the first basket of the game. The start they need is 2-0 Cougs.
Great pass from the right wing to the left wing. Open shot. You got to take it, and she made it.
It's Chamfai with the ball now. Over to Lapo. That's Haley Swain. Beg your pardon. Drives to the lane around the defense of both Villa and Rude gets it to go. Stanford ties it up.
Swain with a great crossover, getting an open shot, unable to stay on the person, and that's how you get an open layup.
Chatfield with the ball now. Over to Villa. Finally finds Valancic open. Heavy pressure put on there by Aguera in the Stanford defense. Rude drives to the lane. Reverse layup, underhand, gets it to go. Cougs back in the lead. It's 4-2.
Great job taking the defense with the unexpected drive from the top of the key off the glass, and it's in.
Aguera's jumper's no good. Out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Stanford. It's going to be Cougars basketball. Chatfield to inbound. Finds Villa open. Heavy pressure put on there by Lopolo. Villa still with the basketball. Driving around Lopolo. Finally finds Abraham over there. Fakes the jumper. Back over to Villa. Gets it taken away by Lopolo. She trips, but right there is Laura Chamfai, and she gets the easy layup. It's 4-4.
That was a great steal by Lopolo. Found it, got it down the court. Open fast break layup. Tie game now.
Chatfield with the basketball now. Now it's Rude. Top of the key for three. In and out. Rebound Stanford and Courtney Ogden. Now it's back over to Haley Swain. Driving around Charlotte Abraham. Finds an open player in the corner. It's Lopolo for three. That's good. It's 7-4. Stanford with their first lead of the game. Inbound Cougs is taken by Valancic. Over to Chatfield. Guarded by Swain. Now back over to Valancic. Aggressive defense by Aguera. Tries to steal it away, but Cougs maintain possession. Now it's Charlotte Abraham finds Valancic over there. Her jumper's no good. Rebound Stanford. Now it's Talana Lopolo with the basketball. Just gets it across center court. In the corner for three is Chamfai. That rims out. Rebound Chatfield.
Very fast-paced game right now.
Chatfield draws contact by the defender. No foul called. Didn't look like very much contact. Rude driving to the lane. Reverse is no good. Rebound Stanford. It's Chamfai. Now it's Swain. Fakes the three. Chamfai loses it. Chatfield's there for the steal. Now it's Rude way downtown for three. That's good. We're back even. It's now 7-7.
Malia Rude, the freshman, really making a name for herself right now. Great drives to the paint and very aggressive with her shot taking, making a big three-pointer right there.
Chamfai with the ball. Now it's Lopolo. Back over to Chamfai. Fakes the three. Instead goes underhand to Aguera, who just takes it right to the rim for the easy layup. 9-7 Stanford.
The Cardinal have amazing passing right now, and finding open players all around the court leads to wide open shots like that.
Chatfield finds Abraham. She almost loses it. Ball gets tipped. What contact wants a foul, doesn't get one. Rude tries to lay it up. It's no good. Rebound Stanford. Now it's Lopolo. Deep three by Chamfai is no good. Rebound once again by Chatfield.
Stanford is getting open. They're just not hitting their shots.
Chatfield finally gets it across midcourt, trying to find somebody open and avoid that violation, but Haley Swain's putting heavy pressure on her, finally finds Rude. Now Swain gets on Rude. Rude tries to drive to the lane. Her jumper, a little bit of a weird angle, but she gets it to go. We're back even again. It's 9-9.
She almost did like a dream shake type of hook shot fadeaway, and it went down. Great job by her.
now it's Haley Swain with the basketball. And they're going to call a travel for her before she can get that shot off. That's another turnover to the Cougs. We have substitutions coming in for Stanford will be Alexandra Eschmeyer, whose dad played in the NBA, and Harper Peterson for Stanford. For the Cougs, checking in will be Marta Alzina, the sophomore from Spain, as well as Keandra Koritz, the freshman from Estonia. But right now it's Villa with the basketball. Over to Rude. Rude tries to find somebody open. Finally finds Villa over there. Rude over to the basket. What's contact? No foul. Rebound Stanford.
There's been a lot of contact, but the referees not blowing their whistle. Very physical game right now.
And it looks like in that substitution, it was Volanchich and Abraham coming out for the Cougs. So Volanchich and Abraham go to the bench. That pass almost stolen away by Eschmeyer, and instead it goes out of bounds off of her. It'll be Cougs basketball after the under 5 media timeout. And what a game we have so far. Probably not many people expected this. We are tied at 9 with 4:31 left in the first quarter.
I mean, the Cougars, this is what they do in the first half. They compete. They fight hard. And right now, Malia Rude looking like she wants to be the MVP of this game. She is taking it over. She has 7 points, if I'm correct, just really leading the offensive charge, both from deep and on the inside, grabbing offensive rebounds, putting up shots as soon as she finds any opportunity. If there's not someone directly in her face, she is going to pull it, and that aggressiveness is paying off so far. Cougars only shooting 10% worse than the Cardinal, 40% to 50%, but they're 1 of 2 from 3 compared to the Cardinals. They only have 1 3-pointer made, and that's really hurting them at the moment. It's only a tie game, but halfway through the first quarter, this is what the Cougars want to see, not getting utterly destroyed by the Cardinal.
Yeah, you're correct. Rude is up to 7 points so far, and Lopolo is their leading scorer early on. It's at 3 points. So we'll take a quick break. Be back shortly. We are tied at 9 at the under 5 media timeout. 4:31 left in the first quarter. This is WSU women's basketball right here on KDR, the student voice of the Blues. All right, we're back here on the media timeout. It's 9-9, 4:31 left in the first quarter. Nathan, what have you liked from the Cougs so far?
I mean, what I've liked from the Cougs is they are doing a good job forcing pressure. I mean, they just forced a turnover, which forced that timeout. Marta Alcina coming straight into the game, getting in the passing lanes, and that's what they need to do. The Cardinal have had some easy opportunities from great passing, and what they have to do is they have to stop it, step into the lanes, and force turnovers like that.
Well, it's inbounds, goes to Villa, and now it's over to the girl you just mentioned, Alzina. She drives to the lane, and she tries to get it to go. It doesn't go, but she gets fouled. Our first foul of the game is coming. It's going on Stanford. It looks like on Courtney Ogden. And yes, that is correct. That is her first personal. So Alzina will be at the line to shoot 2 for the Cougs. Her first free throw hits the backboard, no good. Second free throw coming.
I mean, free throws have just been hurting the Cougars all season. Another miss right there.
Second free throw is also no good. Rebound Stanford.
You can't be giving up easy points like that. Kami Etheridge, she's probably very upset about that right now on the sideline.
It's Harper Peterson with the ball now. Over to Carly Amborn, who is looking for her first, who has not missed a shot all year for Stanford. And that ball she was looking for Peterson, but that's taken away by the Cougs. Now Cougs on offense.
Keandra Courts jumped that lane like she was Richard Sherman in his prime. Great interception right there, getting a steal for the Cougars.
Now it's Alzina with the basketball. Trying to find somebody open, being guarded by Peterson. Finally finds Villa in the top of the key. Drives just in front of right at the free throw line. Her jumper's no good. Rebound Stanford. Now it's Aguirre with the rebound. Over to Apollo. Over to Ogden. Back over to Apollo. Peterson finds Aguirre open in the corner. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Apollo fakes the three. Finally finds Eschmeyer over there in the corner, and she gets that one to go, looking just like her dad who played in the NBA. It's 11-9 Stanford.
Patient offense from the Cardinal is working off right now, and good passing leads to open shots in the paint.
Courts with the basketball now. It's Alzina back to Courts. From the top of the key for three, no good. Rebound Stanford, but they're going to say foul on the way down. It's going to be Stanford ball either way. And it looks like we have a couple of substitutions for Stanford. We have Shamfai coming in, and the one transfer on the team for Stanford from Purdue, Mary Ashley Stevenson. And we actually have 3 players coming in, as we have 3 players coming out. That's going to be Aguirre's coming out, Eschmeyer's coming out, and Ogden is coming out. It's Lapoa with the basketball now. It's Chloe Clardy. She also checked in for Stanford. Now it's Shamfai with the basketball. Over to Stevenson. Clardy in the corner for 3. No good. Rebound Cougs. That's Villa. Just gets it across midcourt. Villa being guarded by Clardy. Now it's Courts with the basketball. Finds Alzina back over to Courts. Villa tries to get the reverse layup to go. No good. Rebound Stevenson and Stanford.
That was an ambitious shot by Villa, but she's probably just trying to get her name in the game. Not on the score sheet so far, and she wants to change that.
Well, it's Stevenson with the basketball now. Can't see who this is. Her hair's covering her jersey, but she misses the 3, and it looks like that was Swain who attempted the 3. Villa now with the basketball. Passes it back over to Abraham. Open in the corner for 3 is Alzina. No good. Out of bounds off of Washington State. Stanford basketball.
Marta Alzina, that shot looked good all the way, but it had to hit the rim about 7 or 8 times before falling out and a miss. Still 9-11 with only 1:30 left in the first quarter.
Lapoa with the basketball now. Back over to Clardy. Driving around. Villa gets up there for the mini block, and they're going to call a foul on Stanford going the other way. Cougars basketball. Looks like they're calling this on Shamfai.
2 blocks in the paint from not the tallest people, and that's what the Cougars want to see. Cami Etheridge yelling at her players, great job, but get back on offense. We need some points on the board.
And yes, they're going to call that foul on Shamfai, so that's going to be her first personal. Second team foul of the quarter for Stanford. It's Villa with the basketball now. As Chorus tries to go for the jumper, but Shamfai is right there to block it. Stanford back on offense. Lapoa, Shamfai downtown for 3. Rims out. Foul on the floor. Going on, looks like Washington State here. We'll see what the call is. And yes, that's going on the Cougs. That's going to be on Charlotte Abraham. That's going to be her first personal, first for the Cougs. Substitution, Cardi comes back in. Lapoa goes out. Also checking in for Stanford will be Alexandra Eschmeyer. She comes back in. She's coming in for Vapolo.
That call was a little bit pushy on the Cougars, but it was enough for the referees to blow their whistle.
Actually, that was Shamfai who came out, and Stanford gets that bucket to go and one with a chance at 3. It looks like they're going to call that one on Abraham once again. And yes, that is already Abraham's second foul in the last 10 seconds. So she's sitting at 2 personal fouls with 2 team fouls now. It's Eschmeyer at the free throw line. She completes a 3-point play. She gets that free throw to go. And now with 2 fouls in the last 10 seconds, Abraham comes out. Malia Rude comes back in for her.
That was a very quick inbound, getting it to Alexandra Eschmeyer. And 6'5", that's a tall frame that's very hard to stop, leading to a foul and an easy bucket for Stanford.
Now it's Alzina with the basketball over the courts. Just under a minute to play, 48 seconds left in the first quarter, 17 on the shot clock. Rude for 3, no good. Rebound Stanford. That's Ogden. Back over to Clardy, being guarded by Villa. Ogden now over to Eschmeyer, back to Ogden. Driving around the lane, trying to find somebody open. 15 on the shot clock. Gets a shot up, rattles around the rim and goes in. It's 16-9 Stanford now with their biggest lead of the game. It's at 7.
Cougars are playing good defense, but Stanford's just making better shots. You can't stop good offense with not as good defense.
Now it's Alzina with the basketball. Gets it taken away from her hand. She has to go chase it down in the backcourt. Finally does. Gets it over to Rude. Rude driving around the lane to beat the buzzer. It's good. She beats the buzzer to end the first quarter, but the Cougs are still down at 16-11. But what a shot by Rude to end the quarter. So we go to the second quarter with Stanford leading 16-11.
Malia Rude, oh my goodness. That was such a tough shot, going to her right, having to shift her body from the just right of the free throw line, able to just swish it in, and she's pretty much the entire Cougar offense right now. She has 9 out of the 11 points, and the Cougars need to find a way to score with other people besides her. The jump shots are not falling. The layups are not going down unless it is Malia Rude taking them. A great job right there.
So we go to the second quarter. Nathan will be on the play-by-play for the second quarter. 16-11, Stanford leads Washington State. You're listening to WSU Women's Basketball on KGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Welcome back to KUGR. Once again, my name is Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran. Right now, Stanford Cardinal lead the Washington State Cougars here in Beasley Coliseum this Friday night of the doubleheader. Declan, right now there's some utter dominance in the paint from the Stanford Cardinal. Part of that being from their 6'5" freshman, Alexandra Eschmeyer.
Yeah, definitely. She only has 5 points in this game, but 3 of those were from the were from the 3-point play that she made. And as I said a couple times before, she comes from a very basketball family. Both her parents played at Northwestern. Her mother actually is the 10th leading scorer all time in Northwestern program history, and her dad played 4 seasons in the NBA, 2 for the Nets and 2 for the Mavericks. He was drafted in the '99 NBA draft. And Malia Rude, she's been on fire in the absence of Alex Coville. You talked in the open, we needed somebody to step up. Might as well be Malia Rude. She has so far 9 points, absolutely dominating every facet of this game so far.
Well, we are starting off the second quarter. The Cougars are inbounding. It's Alcina taking up the court, passing it to Mackenzie Chatfield. Chatfield has it, getting back to the Cougar logo, slightly to the right of it. Pass at the top of the key to Rude. Rude hands it right back to Chatfield. Chatfield trying to find an open person. Stanford defense playing tight man defense. Gets it outside to Alcina. Alcina now on the left wing, passes it to Keandra Koritz. Koritz now at the top of the key. Gets it back to Chatfield. Chatfield driving from the WCC logo. It's off, hits the back iron, rebounded by Stanford. That was Mary Ashley Stevenson with the rebound, and now they're pushing the court with some pace. Ogden has it on the left wing, passes it to Mary Ashley Stevenson at the top of the key, trying to find an open person now. Tight defense from the Cougars. Right now it is Haley Swain being covered, but passes it to the top of the key once again. Ogden now has it left wing, screen right, trying to find an open spot. Pump fake, passing it back out. There's only 4 seconds on the shot clock. She's going to have to take a deep shot. It's an air ball. It's going to be Cougar ball.
Yeah, that's a break for the Cougs. The shots are, I mean, we have that buzzer beater by Root in the first quarter, but so everybody else, the shots aren't really falling, and the Cougs need to start getting these shots to fall. Otherwise, it could turn from bad to worse in a hurry for the Cougs.
Multiple substitutions coming in for Stanford, looking for some speed, but that shot by Clardy was missed because of the miscommunication and forced error by the Cougars. Good job there, forcing a deep air ball. Cougars now have it. They're trying to take it down the court. It's going to be Villa who is driving in the left side of the paint. It's going to be a fadeaway hook shot. It's in from the left side of the key. It's now 16-13, 8:30 left in the second quarter. Stanford trying to take it up the court now. It's Lara Sampai. Passes it now to Ogden on the left wing. Taking it back to the top of the key. Stanford trying to find an open shot. Chloe Clardy driving into the paint with her left hand off the glass. It rolls around and is in. Going around the toilet bowl. It still drains. And now they got the lead to 18-13. 8 minutes, 14 seconds left on the clock. Cougars taking up the court now. Chatfield still has it after a little give and go. She's now at the top of the key, passing left, swinging it. Alcina had it, but she tried to get it to Villa, gets stripped away. Stanford driving down the court now in the paint. Lots of congestion. Strip out of bounds, but it's going to go off of a Cougar. Chatfield tried to swat it away from Laura Sampai, and it's still going to be Cardinal ball.
Yeah, that was a bad turnover there for the Cougs. Sometimes those can be costly. We'll see what happens here.
Quick inbound leads to a give and go, and it's a good jump shot by Laura Sampai. Good jumper from the left corner. Only a 2-pointer, though. It's 20-13, 7:30 left in the game, or in the second quarter. Rude now has it on the right wing, tries to get it in the paint, but overthrows Chatfield, and it's a turnover. Stanford now taking it up the court, up the left wing, gets it to the corner now, finding ways to move the ball quickly. It's back into the corner, trying to find someone open in the paint. Didn't know if there was some communication there, but Ogden gets it at the top of the key and drains it. It's an assist from Lopolo. The ball movement too quick for the Cougars to keep up with, and it's a 23-13 lead. And Cammie Etheridge wants to take a timeout as the Cougars are down 10 with 7:07 in the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't blame Etheridge there. They started out so hot at the beginning of the game and towards the end of the first quarter, and it's just really gotten out of hand. The Cougs are making all kinds of mistakes right now that they just can't recover from. And against a good team like this, you really can't afford to make all those mistakes, especially if you've never beaten them ever.
I mean, yeah, 75-0 is a pretty good record for Stanford to have. They don't want to let that go, though. And right now, with their current run that they're on, leading 23-13, it's looking bad for the Cougar faithful. But you are listening to KUGR Sports. Don't go anywhere. It's the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR. Stanford Cardinal right now leading the Washington State Cougars 23-13, 7 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Cougars have the ball. Cougars going from left to right now. Villa has it now on the Stanford side of the court. It's out at the top of the key now, swinging it to the left. Chatfield has it. Pass down at the Pac-12 logo on the left wing. Gets stripped away from Tanya Volenchik, and it's a turnover. Stanford trying to lead the pack down. Ogda has it now on the right wing. Taking it back to the top of the key, figuring out how to get past this Cougars defense with great passing. So far they've done it. Now has it on the right wing. Laura Somfai hands it off to number 3, Nunu Agara. Now sends it back to the top of the key to Chloe Clardy. Clardy now swings it back to Ogda on the left wing. Lots of passing. 2 seconds left. Has to get a shot up. And it's going to be a rebound for the Cougars after the missed three-pointer. Chatfield now has it on the right wing, trying to find somewhere to go with it. It's going to be down to Malia Rude, who has been the leading scorer of the Cougars, passing it back to the top of the key. It's a drilled three-pointer. Keandra Koritz, big three-pointer.
Yeah, much needed shot there for the Cougs. I don't know how Shanfai even got that shot out to beat the shot clock. It didn't go in, but I don't know how she was able to get it off in time.
Cardinals now trying to take a drive deep into the paint. It's swatted away. Hard pass back off of her own player's face. It ends up being a turnover. Cougars trying to push the pace down. Now Villa has it on the left corner. Gets it back out to Tanya Volenchik. Pass inside. Great pass, but shot is not there. Cut off well by the Cardinals. It's another shot now from the right wing. It's not going to go down for Keandra Koritz. Trying to get a little bit of a heat check there, but it's now quick possession for the Cardinal. Tried to get a three-pointer to fall. It's Clardy again with a three. Missing. Rebound to the Cougars. Cougars down 7 23-16 is the score with 5 minutes, 15 seconds left. Villa has it at the top of the key. Screen coming to her right now. Chatfield gets the kind of deep at the Cougars logo. It's going to be a screen now to the left side from Rude. Trying to figure out a way to get into the paint. Now at the left or at the right wing, but just outside the paint.
3 seconds
Rude
on the
had
shot
it.
clock.
Rude had it, but it was stripped away by Chloe Clardy. Clardy taking it down the court, makes the layup off the glass and the foul. She'll get another shot coming from the free throw line.
And if that's on Abraham, that's gonna be
It was on Tanya Valanchik.
Yeah, it was on Valanchik, so that'll be her first personal, the first team foul of the quarter for the Cougs.
Clardy now from the free throw line, make it a double-digit game. She got it. It's 26-16, 4:51 on the clock. Multiple substitutions coming in for Stanford now. It appears to be Haley Swain coming into the game for Chloe Clardy.
Yep, that's the only substitution made. That's what my stats say here was the sub.
Well, Villa has it now for the Cougars. She's trying to take a drive, pulls up from the left wing, just outside of the paint. It's going to be a bucket. 26-18 is the score now. Villa trying to get her name in the game.
Yeah, much needed basket there for the Cougs and for Villa. If you're the Cougs, you would like to see Villa start to get the hot hand here.
Nunu Agara had it in control. She takes the shot after doing a pump fake pass. It falls off the rim, and it's rebounded by Villa. Villa taking it up the court now. Gets it up to Rude at the top of the key. Villa has it at the top of the key. She pulls a deep shot. A little bit of contact, no whistle. It's rebounded by the Cardinals, trying to push a fast break down the court. It's now on the right corner now. Taking a drive in the paint. Villa pokes it away, but now Ogda has it on the left corner. A travel is called. It's going to be the Cougars' ball. 3:54 on the clock. Cardinals winning 26-18.
Yeah, if you're the Cougs, you want to see more of that. You want to force the Cardinal to take time off the shot clock and make mistakes like that. And now we see the youngest player in all of Division I women's basketball come in for the Cougs at 16 years old. Malvina Haziri checks in for the Cougs.
Big check-in right there, but Villa still has it in control. Gets past the Cougar logo, driving down the left side of the court. It's going to be a screen to the right from Rude. Villa trying to find somewhere to pass to, stripped away. Cougars still maintain possession, though. Haziri controls it from the right wing. Screen right from Rude. Haziri driving to the paint, gets it to Rude, pulls up the quick shot. It does not go. It's rebounded by the Stanford Cardinal. Taking it down is Swain. Swain, easy layup off the glass. Lollipop layup right there, and it's 28-18. 3 minutes, 18 seconds on the clock. 10-point lead for the Cardinal. Foul there, called on the court. It appears to be on the Cardinals. Appears to be number 3, Nunu Agara, as the aggressor, and Alexandra Eschmeyer is coming into the game.
They're actually going to call that foul on Lopolo, so that's going to be her first personal. It's the first team foul for Stanford, so both teams sitting at one team foul here in this quarter.
Villa inbounds the ball now. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Haziri has it on the right wing, passes it out to Tanya Valenchik. She has it at the top of the key, tries to get a pass, almost intercepted, but Haziri is able to control it, gets it inside to Keandra, but she's unable to get the shot. But Rude gets into the paint, she gets the rebound, puts up a shot. It doesn't fall, but another Cougars offensive rebound. Great behind the back pass, gets it to the left corner for a three, but it does not fall, and a foul on the Cougars. It's going to be Stanford possession. Lots of offensive rebounds, and they put a lot of effort in on that possession, but it does not result in points.
Yeah, they're going to call this foul on Malia Rude. With her size, obviously, she jumped a little too high, and with her size, they're gonna call that foul 100% of the time on her.
Swain now has it for the Cardinal. Gets it back to Ogda at the top of the key. Ogda mixing some dribbling around a screen to her left. It's poked away by the Cougars after a pass, trying to get back out onto the three-point line. It's intercepted, stolen by Tanya Valenchik. Passing now. Gets intercepted after a bad pass. Cardinals moving it down the court now after 2 turnovers on the past 2 possessions, but a travel is called on the court on Swain. It's very chaotic basketball right now.
Yeah.
And now for the Cougars, Jean Chu comes into the game for Malia Root.
Yeah, if you're Stanford, you obviously got to be very frustrated with how many travels you've had in this game. Cougs are doing a great job forcing those turnovers by the travel, but you need to force turnovers in all facets of the game, not just travels, in order to win a game, especially against a team like this. And fortunately for the Cougs, they haven't been called for any travels yet so far.
Chloe Cardi comes into the game for Courtney Ogden. Lots of three-point shooting is the need for the Cardinals, at least at the moment. It's a pass inside the paint for the Cougars.
Great
Had an
pass.
open layup, but it's missed by Keandra Koritz.
Yeah, that was a great pass there. On that pass, everything went right for the Cougs except for the thing that mattered the most. That was the bucket there, and they're going to call that foul on Koritz. So that's going to be number 1 on her. Third team foul on the Cougs already in this quarter. So there's only 2 minutes left, but 2 fouls away from Stanford being in the bonus.
Stanford now has on the Cougar side. Swain making some dribble moves, drives into the paint, puts a tough shot up, but it goes down from the WCC logo just inside the free throw line. 30-18 is the score. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. Cougars pushing it down the court now. Tanya Valenchik hands it off to Malvina Haziri. Haziri passing it now onto the left wing. Right back to Haziri. Trying to make a dribble move. Haziri finds an open woman on the right side. Deep three-pointer goes down. Tanya Valanchik.
Much needed 3 right there for the Cougs to try to get any momentum back into this game. They're still down 9, but if they force Stanford misses and hit 3 more threes, this game could be tied at halftime. There's a steal right there.
30-21 turns into 30-23. Eleonora Villa, big pickpocket steal right there. No one was there to guard her, and she gets the open layup. Momentum swinging into Cougars' favor.
Yeah, great defense there by Villa getting the steal and the bucket. And Stanford was not ready for that. As soon as she took off, there was no way anybody was going to stop her from scoring.
Chloe Clardy driving into the paint, finds an open woman, but there's a lot of contact there. It's going to be a foul on Haziri, trying to block. It appeared to be Agara.
Yeah, that's going to be the 4th team foul on the Cougs already. So this one's a shooting foul as well here as the Stanford player was driving to the lane. But one more foul by the Cougs. Stanford goes to the free throw line for the rest of the quarter, no matter if it's a shooting foul or not.
Well, Agara's first free throw attempt, he's about to get up, and it is good. 31-23 is the score. 38 seconds on the clock in the second quarter until halftime. Agara, her second free throw is up, and it's good. Cougars going to try to push the pace. Chu running down the court, gives it right back to Valanchik. Valanchik now passes it down on the left wing. Driving into the post is Keandra Koritz, and she puts up a hook shot. It goes down. 32-25 is the score, but with no difference between the shot clock and game clock. Stanford looking to just maybe run the clock out right now. There's 15 seconds left. Swain has it at the Cougar logo. Cardinals trying to set up a play right now. Swain gets a screen to her right. She's going to go left, dribbling inside the paint. She gets a shot up. It's not going to fall, and that is going to be the end of the half. The Stanford Cardinal currently lead the Washington State Cougars 32-25. And if you're the Cougars, you're still in this game. You're putting up a great fight right now, and a lot of that has to do with the hustle plays and the solid defense.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say the Cougs are fortunate to only be down single digits here at halftime against a team as good as Stanford, who's won 3 national championships, and obviously if you're the Cougs and you don't win this game somehow, at least if you lose by single digits against a team like Stanford, you would be happy, as 29 of the 32 wins have been by double digits by Stanford. But there was a few mistakes there by the Cougs in the second quarter to clean up, but they played much better at the end, and they're only down by 7 here at halftime.
Something to definitely clean up is just the field goal shooting. Right now, they're only shooting 35% compared to Stanford's 46%. And the only time they went to the free throw line, they missed both shots compared to Stanford, who's perfect from the line in both of their trips. including the and ones as well. Lots of and one fouls, and that's just part of the size differential for Stanford. When you have someone as tall as Eschmeyer, who's 6'5", the next tallest person to guard her is 6'2" for the Cougars, and it's really showing with multiple fouls in the paint, along with multiple free throws coming for the Cardinals, and they're hitting their shots. They're making them.
Yeah, and Malia Rude, she's been stuck on 9 points since the end of the first quarter. She didn't have any points in that second quarter. It was all about Eleanor Ville and Keandra Courts that quarter. They're all of a sudden chasing Rude for the team lead. They could very well pass her in the third quarter if Rude doesn't score more points.
Villa is really someone that you expect to be as dominant on the offense as you can expect anyone to be. I mean, she's leading the Cougars in scoring so far this season by a marginal 10 points, and you just want her to get more involved in the game and lead the offense in a better fashion than what they did in the first half.
Yeah, for sure. So far, they have 6 steals, which is even with Stanford. They're being out rebounded 21-15, but they're only being out rebounded by 6. They only have 1 block shots at this point. So in terms of block shots, they're not getting many of their shots blocked, which is something you have to like if you're Coach Etheridge. But yeah, Cougs should have a little bit of confidence going into the second half, only down by 7.
Well, with the score being 32-25, you're listening to KUGR Sports. In the second half, Declan Curran will be back on play-by-play. My name is Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse.
All right, we're back inside Beasley Coliseum with about 2.5 minutes left until the second half. Cougs trailing the Stanford Cardinals 32-25. And once again, welcome back inside. Declan Curran along with Nathan Eshelman. Nathan, what do the Cougs need to do better in the second half?
There's a lot that could be better, and I mean, really the biggest factor is shooting. You need to shoot the ball better, and something else that they've struggled with all season long is turnovers. They've turned the ball over a little bit too much. I mean, 6 steals for each side. Both sides have been turning it over a lot, and that's really something to fault each side for. For the Cougars, they're down by 7. They need to limit those turnovers, and they need to shoot much better. From 3, they are 30%, which is better than Stanford's 20%, which is something positive to look at. You like seeing those numbers, but when it gets inside the paint, there is so much of a difference between how the Cardinals have been doing and how the Cougars have been doing. And part of it is the aggressiveness of the Cougars. They are taking so many hard shots inside the paint, and a lot of them have been made. I mean, Malia Rude in the first quarter, she had 9 points, and about 4 or 6 of them were very difficult, hard to make shots. And as like it goes, if you make it, you make it. But it's very difficult to reduplicate those types of shots throughout a game. And I think that's something that's really been hurting the Cougars so far this year. With that first half, they keep the games competitive. They're either winning or they have the lead or they're very close to having the lead. And then the second half begins and they just have this dramatic dip in their offensive production and their defensive production. Because today they have 6 steals, which is a lot right now. And a lot of that is due to Eleanor Avila and the great hand movement between all of their guards. And that's part of what you get with this with the small ball lineup. You want the steals, you want that. But once they get into the second halves of games, that starts to dip, and they cannot let Stanford get any type of momentum in the second half because they'll run with it. They have so many wins this season where their second halves have been dominant, and the Cougars cannot have the current script going where they are not dominant, they get beat in the second half, and the Cardinals being super dominant. And I could see that the Cardinals could just easily win this game if they play the way that they have been so far this season in the second half. But the Cougars need to just stay smart. They can't turn the ball over. They need to shoot well, and they need to find ways to keep stopping the Stanford passing game.
Yeah, I think for me, I think that the big takeaway is that Stanford has had 20 points in the paint, which obviously means it's 20 points close to the basket, which obviously the Cougars are a little bit frustrated about. They need to clean that up, not only here in the second half, but here in the third quarter in general.
With a small ball lineup, it's hard to stop the inside the paint movement, especially with Stanford being so much bigger and a size disadvantage, and a lot of athleticism as well from Stanford compared to the Cougars. The speed and the height and how they jump is just something that's been helping them a lot in the paint.
Well, second half begins right in front of the ESPN Plus broadcasters. It's going to be Aguera getting the inbounds, finds Swain now over to Ogden, trying to find somebody open. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Shamfai finds Swain open. Open in the corner is Lopolo. Left wing. Drives around the defensive Chatfield. Forces a turnover as Rude takes that one back. Chatfield now with the basketball. Just gets it across midcourt. Over to Rude. Finally finds Valancic over to Chatfield in the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kuz got to get a shot off. Villa tries to drive to the lane and score. It doesn't go. Rebound Stanford.
That was a good possession, though. Villa found an open shot. She just couldn't get her floater to fall.
Ogden with the basketball. Back over to Swain. Now it's back over to Shamfai. Back over to Swain. Swain with the jumper, no good. Right there for the rebound is Aguera, but she just throws that one out of bounds. Inbounds coming for the Cougs.
Well, part of that turnover was because Tanya Valancic, she's got her hand in there and forced that ball out, but she was not the last one to touch it. Turnover right there caused by great defense in the paint.
Chatfield with the ball now just across midcourt. Over to Abraham, and they're going to call a foul on Stanford, it looks like, on the floor. We'll see if this is going on. It looks like it's going to go on Shamfai, which would be her second personal. And yes, they're going to call that on Shamfai. That's her second personal. So first Stanford player to get to 2 fouls today. That's going to be the first of the quarter on Stanford. It was on the floor, so no shooting foul. This one looks to be a shooting foul as Villa tries to go up and gets fouled on the way down by Shamfai again. So now all of a sudden she's in foul trouble at 3 fouls. Second team foul for Stanford, and Shamfai is going to come out and sit, being replaced by Mary Ashley Stevenson.
Villa doing a great job being aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, driving in the paint. She had her floater miss on that first possession, but this possession gets in the paint, draws a lot of contact, falling hard to the ground.
Villa's first free throw is good, and if you're the Cougs, you would like to see more of that here in the second half. Only shooting 34% from the line. Stanford not much better at 45%. Villa's second free throw is good. She knocks them both down. Cougs now only down 5 here with 8.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Villa is now shooting 75% on the year, 9 of 12. Great numbers right there if you want free throw shooting.
Swain drives to the basket, beats Valancic to the rim, gets the reverse layup to go. Stanford now back up by 7. Valancic with the ball now. Over to Abraham. And she loses out of bounds, but she gets fouled first by a Stanford player. Cougs maintain possession.
Courtney Ogden just kind of pushed her, and she did a good job selling the foul. Abraham drawing it, and Cougars, they could draw this within 4 if they make a three-pointer right here.
Yeah, and they're giving that foul to Ogden. That's her second. All of a sudden, Stanford now with 3 personal fouls here in this quarter. Cougs with none yet to this point. 2 more, and the Cougs are in the bonus already. Chatfield with the basketball now. Wide open is Valancic. She drives to the lane with the reverse. No good. Rebound, Stanford. And Nunu Aguirre. Ogden with the basketball now. Trying to find Aguirre. Gets around the screen set by Valancic. Now it's Vapolo. Back over to Ogden. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ogden gets the hook shot. It's no good. Rebound, Cougs, Malia Rude.
Very defensive third quarter so far. 2 minutes and 30 seconds out. And we are just watching so many misses after great defense from each side.
It's Villa with the basketball now. Drives to the lane. Gets a little hook shot to go. And it goes in. It's 34-29 Stanford. Cougs down by 5. Approaching 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And the crowd just erupted on something. I wasn't able to hear what they said on the PA system, but it sounds like a pretty big accomplishment by Villa there. And now they're going to call a foul on the Cougs. That's on Abraham, so that's going to be her first personal. Or actually, that's her third personal. So she's in foul trouble, and she's going to sit, replaced by Keontra Cords. First team foul on the Cougs in the third quarter. Now it's Aguirre to inbound to Swain. Over to Vapolo. Chatfield guarding her. Finds Swain. And she almost was out of bounds. Chatfield there. Gets down and steals it. Back over to Court. Her jumper is no good. Rebound, Stanford.
Courts is not able to get her shots to fall at all today.
That was Aguirre once again with another rebound. Now it's back over to Stevenson. Over to Vapolo. Back to Stevenson. Open in the corner for 3 is Aguirre. No good. Rebound almost by Valancic, but taken away by Clardy and Stanford. And then the easy layup is made by Stanford. That's Stevenson. It's 36-29 Stanford.
Lots of poked balls, and it's working in favor of both teams. The amount of steals and turnovers is just astronomical at this moment in the game.
Villa wants a little bit of contact as that ball goes out of bounds. The ref doesn't call contact, and they're going to say it's off the Cougs, back over to Stanford.
That was just a rough turnover there. There was a little bit of contact on the layup, but not enough for a call to be made on the court.
Aguirre now gets it over to Vapolo. Over to Shea Ijiwe. First time we've said her name today. She's a sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona. Driving to the lane is Clardy. Over to Aguirre, who gets the underhand reverse layup to go. It's now 38-29 Stanford, largest lead of the game at 9. Now it's Rude with the basketball. Over to Chatfield. Tries to shoot a 3, but they're going to call a foul instead. It looks like they're going to call this on Aguirre. That's going to be her first personal foul, 4th team foul of the quarter for Stanford. Foul's on the floor, so it'll be an inbound for the Cougs. Chatfield gets it in to Koritz. Oh, she wasn't paying attention. She was trying to get the ball to somebody. Taken away briefly by Cardi, and they're going to call a foul instead on Stanford. Actually, they're going to call a foul on a reach-in foul on the Cougs. They're going to call that one on Koritz. She reached in after trying to get it back. That's her second team foul. Stanford with the inbound.
That was just a frustration foul. She had it ripped away from her when she wasn't looking. Tried to steal it back immediately, but got way too physical. Easy call right there for the referees to make.
Aguirre now over to Ijiwe, finds Vapolo. Back over to Aguirre. Vapolo, deep three is no good. Rebound Valancic in the Cougs. Now it's Villa.
Stanford's only shooting 17% right now, but they're making up with it with great defense.
Villa drives to the lane, and they're going to call her for the offensive foul. Looks like they could have called that either way, but she got called for an illegal screen. That's going to be her first team foul, 3rd of the quarter for the Cougs, and that takes us to the under 5 media timeout.
I mean, that could have gone either way, but Villa pretty clearly stuck her arm out. That was a little bit of a stiff arm there, and the refs were calling it. Although Cammie Etheridge wanted a foul earlier in the play, going up the court, lots of contact, trying to dribble it, like when Villa was trying to dribble inside the paint, but ends up being a foul on the Cougars.
So at the under 5 media timeout, Stanford leads Washington State by 9, 38-29. We'll be back shortly here from Beasley Coliseum. This is WSU Women's Basketball on KGR, the student voice of the Palouse. We're back out of the under 5 media timeout, back at Beasley Coliseum. Stanford 38, Washington State 29, and now Eleonora Villa has taken over the lead in scoring for the Cougs. She is at 10, as Malia Root has gone a little bit cold since the first quarter. Stanford's really been playing good defense on her.
I mean, it's just very hard to make the types of shots that Rude was making even in the first quarter. She was making a lot of contested fadeaway shots, and it's not going for her way now in the second half.
Stanford with the ball now. It's Vapolo. Over to Stevenson. Back to Vapolo. Attempts a deep three. No good. Rebound. Chatfield almost deflected off her hands, but she got it back. Chatfield trying to find somebody open. It finds Malia Rude back over to Chatfield. Trying to trying to tell her team to get open. It's Valancic now back over to Chatfield. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cougs got to get a shot off. It's Rude driving to the lane. No good. Rebound is fought for. Finally rolling out of bounds. They're going to say off of Stanford. Ball's going over to Washington State.
But that shot attempt by Rude, she had 3 people on her. She shot it with her offhand, and it didn't even hit the rim. Hit the backboard, caused a tough fight for the rebound, and it's 3 seconds on the shot clock. Cougars have to get a quick shot off.
Yeah. In that situation, they don't reset the shot clock. It's going to be Villa to inbound it. Find somebody open. Back over to Rude. Villa trying to beat the shot clock. Doesn't go anywhere. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Turnover to Stanford.
Great block by Shea Ijiwoe. She just understood the situation, and she guarded Villa tightly, got the swat, and no points for the Cougars.
Now it's back over to Vapolo. Over to Ijiwoe. Clarity. Over to Stevenson being guarded by Valancic. Free throw line. Finds a guard wide open by the basket. She just takes it to the rim herself. It's 40-29 Stanford now.
Malia Rude was a little bit mispositioned there, not understanding her assignment, and it led to a wide open layup. Double-digit lead now for the Cardinal again.
Chatfield finds Rude, who's been cold. Cougs would like to see her get going again. Back over to Villa. Chatfield with the jumper, no good, off the glass. Stanford with all the momentum now gets the rebound on that one. Cardi, wide open, kind of a baseball pass. She gets fouled on the floor, and that'll be the 4th team foul on the Cougs here in this quarter. We're going to see who that's going to be on. Meanwhile, we have Abraham coming back in for Chatfield, and they're going to call that on Valancic. So that's going to be her 2nd personal. 4th team foul for the Cougs. Both teams at 4 team fouls here in the 3rd quarter now.
Cougars are not playing smart offense. They're just taking contested shots.
Off the inbound, Lapolo finds Cardi. Her jumper doesn't go. Rebound to Abraham. Back over to Villa being guarded by Ijiwoe, who steals it, but it's deflected off of her. Cougs maintain possession.
The Cougars' best stat this game is that they have 8 steals, but the Cardinal, keeping right up with them, has 7, almost had their 8th one right there.
Back over to Villa. Abraham now over to Villa. Drives to the lane. Finally does a little underhand toss to Valancic, and they're going to call a foul as Rude was driving to the basket. It looks like
it was a travel call on Rude at the top of the key.
Yeah, they're going to say travel by Rude. That's the first travel committed by the Cougs today. It's Vapolo now. Over to Ijiwoe. Finds Cardi. Over to Stevenson. Heavy defense. Good defensive pressure there by Valancic. Cardi finds Stevenson wide open. Contact once a foul. Doesn't get it. Instead, it's out of bounds. But off of the Cougs, Stanford maintains possession.
Cougars are trying to force the Cardinals to shoot in the paint. They're playing tough defense inside the paint, forcing shooters outside. They're only shooting 15%, and it's in favor of the Cougars right now, but they are still down 11. Got to keep the pressure up.
Cardi off the inbound finds Lapolo. Pressured by Abraham, but she gets that shot to fall over her. It's largest lead for Stanford now at 13, 42-29, 2.5 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, you can't play tight defense when the person you're trying to guard dribbles around you so easily.
Villa almost gets it taken away by Ijiwoe. She finds Abraham, who tries to drive to the lane but gets fouled first on Stanford. That's going to be the 5th team foul on Stanford, so that's going to put the Cougs in the bonus and at the free throw line the rest of the quarter, and they're going to call that one, it looks like, on Stevenson. We'll have to see who that's on.
Abraham did a great job driving into the paint. She had the shot fall. It doesn't count. Free throw upcoming.
And yes, that is on Stevenson. That's going to be her first personal. And Abraham's at the line. She makes the first one. It's 42-30 now with the second one upcoming. Cougs still shooting 32% from the line this far. Makes them both. That's what the Cougs would like to see more of. It's 42-31 now, 2:15 left. Cordy now. Wide open, deep three is Aguirre. Rebound, or shot's no good. Rebound Cougs. It goes out of bounds, fought for, and they're going to say that it last touched by, looks like, Stanford. So it's going back over to the Cougs.
Shea Ijaway doing a great job of putting pressure on the ball specifically. She's doing a great job getting her hands exactly where they need to be, poking every single rebound or hustle play loose.
Abraham on the inbound finds Villa, who takes it the length of the court. Still trying to find somebody open. Finally finds Court. A little bit of awkward pass. Rude drives to the lane. That ball goes over the top of the rim, but she gets fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 shots, and they're going to call that on Aguirre. That's her second personal.
Cougars are now relying on throws at this point in the second quarter. They're not getting their shots to fall, but these fouls are giving them free points if they can make them.
So Rude looking for her first points since the first quarter here. Gets that one. Ties Villa with the team lead now at 10 points as she gets the first free throw to go. Cougs trying to cut it to single digits now at 9, and Rude is looking to take over the lead once again as the leading scorer, and she does just that. She makes them both. It's 42-33, 1:53 left.
Brings it back within single digits as well, down to 9 points.
Now it's Cardi, loses it, gets it back. Villa tries to take it away. Great defense forced by Villa. Ijiwoye finds Aguirre back over to Ijiwoye. Deep three is no good. Rebound, Abraham and the Cougs. Abraham drives to the length of the floor, finds Villa. Right in front of the bench for 3. No good. Rebound by Keandra Koritz. Finds Rude. Back over to Abraham. Deep three from the top of the keys. No good. Rebound Cougs. They're going to say foul on the floor on this one. We'll see who they're calling this on. Looks like they're going to call this on. They're going to call that on Shea Ijiwoye. That's going to be her first personal. It was on the floor, but Cougs are already in the bonus, so Rude will be at the free throw line to shoot 2 shots now. Actually, it's going to be Valancic as she was the one who was fouled. So Valancic will be at the line.
Great ball movement down the court, though. That fast break opportunity led to an open shot from Villa. She doesn't get hers to fall. Great job getting the rebound, though. Kicks it back out for another 3, and then on the rebound is what led to the foul from Stanford.
And before the first shot, we have a substitution. Ijiwoye is coming out. Haley Swain-Shack's back in for Stanford. As Valancic misses the first free throw off the backboard. No good. That drops the free throw percentage down now to 67% for the Cougs. Valancic makes a second one. Stanford still has not missed a free throw from the line today. Stanford gets the defensive rebound. Now it's over to Vapolo. Approaching a minute left here. 42-34 Stanford, a minute 10 left here in the third quarter. It's Eshelmeyer now. Eschmeyer. She loses that one. That's a loose ball turnover taken away by Valancic and the Cougs. Now it's Koritz open in the corner. Almost was out of bounds. Fakes the 3. Drives to the rim. No good. Rebound Stanford, and they're going to call a foul on the Cougs going the other way. That's going to put Stanford in the bonus now. That's going to be the 15th foul on the Cougs. They're going to call that on Rude. That's going to be her second personal. So now both teams in the bonus for the last 54 seconds of the quarter. Stanford will now be at the line to shoot 2. It's going to be Mary Ashley Stevenson taking the 2 shots.
Rude just kind of underhooked her on that rebound attempt. She didn't have much of a fight for the ball, and the referee saw the underhook contact leading to an easy call.
Crowd gets loud, hoping for the first Stanford miss at the free throw line. Doesn't happen here. Stevenson knocks down the first. Stanford still perfect from the line today. Trying to get Stevenson second shot upcoming to try to make it back into double digits. And she does just that. It's back up to 10. Rude with the rebound now over to Villa.
Stevenson is not who you want to shoot on the free throw line. She has not missed all season long.
Villa drives the length of the floor, still trying to find somebody open. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Drives to the lane, finds Rude. Tries to go to the basket. Wants the refs to call a foul on that one. They don't. Shot is up by Koritz, and they're going to say, looks like either she traveled or she stepped out of bounds. And they're going to say she traveled on that one, so it's a turnover back to Stanford. Now it's Swain with the ball over to Chloe Clardy. Back over to Stevenson. Trying to find somebody open, being guarded by Villa. Back over to Vapolo, over to Clardy. Vapolo, top of the key, back over to Clardy. Takes the three. Doesn't go. Rebound Abraham and the Cougs. Kind of baseball pass intended for Valancic, taken away there by Swain, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Stanford with the lead by 10. It's 44-34 here from Beasley Coliseum.
I mean, the Cougars really keeping themselves in this game, and it's part of it is their defense. They're forcing Stanford to take bad shots, not easy shots, and they have been given open threes, but part of that is because they're not making them. The Cougars are almost daring them to shoot three-pointers now. They're only 13% from the night, and they still have a 10-point lead. That shows how good Stanford's defense has been. With a 10-point lead and only shooting 13%, Stanford has to be feeling pretty confident in themselves for this fourth quarter because of how tough and physical their defense has been, only giving up about 10 points a quarter to the Cougars.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a break. We got the fourth quarter coming up on the other side. Nathan back on the play-by-play. Stanford leading 44-34 over the Cougs. You're listening to WSU Women's Basketball right here on KGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum. You're listening to KGR Sports. My name is Nathan Eshelman, joined by Declan Curran. We're here in the fourth quarter. Stanford Cardinal hold a 10-point lead, 44-34, as we start the fourth quarter. 10 minutes left until we have a winner. The Cougars down 10 have the ball now going right to left. They have it now on the left wing now. It's Valancic. Inside pass, a drive into the paint. The shot does not go. Rebound, Rude, and there's a foul on the court. Let's see if it's in the process of shooting.
No, they're going to say that it was on the floor. They're going to say it's side out.
Rude did try to get her arms up in a shooting motion, unable to get it fully up for a call on the court.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a quick inbound. A three-point attempt is up by Keandra Koritz, but her shooting has not been on point today. It just drifts out of bounds with an air ball.
Yeah.
Ball goes to Stanford.
Yeah, that last foul, they called that on Chloe Clardy. That's her first.
Stanford now has it at the top of the key. It's Stevenson now up on the right wing. Dribbling to the top of the key is Lopolo. Lopolo slowing down the play, trying to run down the clock with their double-digit lead. Stanford now has it. Swing back out to the corner. It's Stevenson with a three-pointer. It's off the rim, but it's a good rebound inside the paint from the Cardinals, and it's a foul. It was a great rebound by Nunu Agara and a foul on the court on Tanya Vlanchik, and free throws are coming up for the Cardinal.
Yeah, they did call that on Vlanchik, so that's going to be number 3 on her. Now, so now her and Abraham are both in foul trouble. That's going to be the first on the Cougs, and if you're the Cougs, that's not what you want to do. Stanford still hasn't missed yet from the free throw line.
Well, Nunu Agara's free throw is up. Commentator Jinx hits at a perfect moment.
Well, usually they don't work, but this time they did. So
now Vina Haziri has come into the game for Keandra Koritz after some tough shooting so far tonight.
And
9:10 on the clock. Nunu Agara, her second free throw does fall.
And Shamfai's going to come back in for her. Or no, she's coming back in for Stevenson.
Cougars now waiting to inbound, gets it in. It's going to be Chu taking the ball off the court. Jean Chu with limited action in the first half, getting her opportunity here, leading off the court. Haziri trying to find somewhere off the ball, but Chu keeps it. She's on the right wing now, gets it in to Rude. Rude at the top of the free throw line using the pivot foot, trying to find an open person. Abraham in the post does a one-legged fadeaway off the glass. It falls. It's a 9-point game now. Stanford winning 45-36, 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the clock. Stanford now has it on the right side, a little bit of in the corner now. It's Agara. Agara kicks it back out to Lopolo. Lopolo back to Agara now on the right wing. Lots of give and go between the two. Lopolo has it again, trying to drive into the paint, but it's a pass outside on the left corner. It's a two-pointer, but it falls. Great shot there by Laura Samfai. And the Cougars now down 11 once again, 8 minutes on the clock. Vlanchik gets it to Rude. Rude on the left wing gets it to Chu at the top of the key. Chu driving, gets it a pass inside to Vlanchik. Vlanchik trying to pass it out, but it's tipped away. Turnover stolen by the Cardinal. Cardinal pass inside. Is it good? Chloe Clardy gets the layup to fall, 49-36 now. Quick fast break points, and Cardinal have a 13-point lead.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental errors being made here by the Cougs, and I was just going to say I'm surprised Cam Andrews hasn't taken a timeout there, but right there she just did. That's only the second timeout of this game by either team, and they've both been by Washington State, which outside of those, there hasn't been many other than media timeouts, which shows that there hasn't really been much mistakes, but now they're starting to really bite the Cougs right in the tongue, down by 13 now.
Well, Cami Etheridge is understanding that they're not getting the ball moving around like they need to be doing. Stanford has only been giving up less than 5 assists per game, and today it's still true. The Cougars only have 4 assists so far in this fourth quarter. They need something better.
Yeah, definitely, and especially in terms of the paint points, like you were saying, Stanford has 32 points in the paint today, which is obviously 32 too many, you could say, for the Cougs. They have not been able to, when the Stanford gets in the paint, the Cougs have not been able to find an answer for them.
Something for the positive on the Cougs defense, though, is the way that they're forcing the Cardinal to shoot three-pointers. And Stanford not really making them. Only at 12%, really a horrible stat line to look at, but they're still winning by 13 due to their dominance inside the paint. Well, with the media timeout still going on, we're going to go to break. You're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to Beasley Coliseum. It is a 13-point game, 7 minutes, 43 seconds left on the clock. The Stanford Cardinal lead the Washington State Cougars 49-36. Declan, what do the Cougars need to do to get their offense flowing more smooth?
Well, I think for the Cougs to be able to get their offense flowing, obviously you want to force turnovers and commit less turnovers. And obviously, Stanford has 32 points in the paint. They want to get better at forcing Stanford to miss shots when they're down when they're down in the paint.
Cougars do inbound it now. It's a lot of passing right now, but Rude trying to find anything in the paint. A little bit of miscommunication, getting it back out. Rude has it now on the left corner. Hands it off. Big three-pointer Haziri from the left wing. A bit of a chaotic offensive play, but Haziri, big high-arcing three-pointer, brings it within 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Cougs need. They need that and more. They would like to get everybody going, especially they'd like Villa and Rude to keep getting the hot hand, hopefully knock down some very important three-pointers.
Well, the Cardinals have it now in their possession. They took a tough shot. Nunu Agara from the right corner. Rude kind of daring her to shoot it. She did. Ends up being an air ball turnover for the Cardinal. Cougars now have it. But just as I say it, it's a high throw over Abraham's head, and it's going to be a turnover, giving the ball right back to the Cardinal. Tanya Valanchik unable to get the pass.
Yeah, it looked like it would have been a miscommunication there. Not sure who she was going for, but the Cougs clearly were not. The Cougs clearly did not have their offense straightened out there on that play.
Well, now on the right side of the court, Cardinals have it now. Lapolo on the left wing gets it back out to Samfai. Samfai hands it off. That appears to be Swain, who's going to take the drive to the right. Gets it back out to Swai. Lapolo now swings it almost inside the paint. Hard defensive matchup. It's a miss by the Cardinals, but it's tipped out of bounds. It's going to still be their ball after it was tipped out of bounds by Villa. Tough shot was put up by Nunu Agara. Some great defense from Malia Rude, but still ends up being Cardinal ball. And the inbound goes to Lapolo on the right wing.
Yeah, I think if you're the Cougs, you also want to force Stanford into those tough shots.
Well, there was a tough shot right there. Laura Samfai tried to take a three-pointer from the right wing. Ends up being a miss. A little bit of a ricochet on the rebound, but the Cougars are able to maintain it. Villa now has it on the left side. Gets it to Haziri. Haziri passing it on the inside. It is Valanchik who has it deep from the top of the key. It does not fall. There's a foul on the floor, though. It's going to go against Stanford and Nunu Agara.
Yeah, that's going to be Agara's third. So now they have her and Shamfai in foul trouble. That's the second team foul on Stanford. I was just going to say on the last 3-point time by Valanchik, she kind of had a little bit of a weird angle on that shot, but that's because there was contact being made on her while she took the shot.
Cougars do inbound it now. Villa off of the right wing. She takes a step back from inside the 3-point line. It does not fall. Long rebound made by the Cardinal. Cardinal pushing it down the court now. Swain has it on the right corner. Dribbling now inside. Spins off her defender. Gets a tough shot to fall. Easy layup off of the glass. She makes it look easy, even though she had to go through two people to get it. It's in a 12-point lead now, 51-39 for the Cardinal. 5 minutes left. A deep three is taken on the other end. Charlotte Abraham hits the three-pointer. 9-point game.
Yeah, that's what the Cougs want to see more of, especially they're down by only 9 now with 5 minutes left. All of a sudden, Stanford misses a bunch of shots. Cougs make 3 threes. This game's tied.
Chloe Clardy trying to take it in, but it's almost poked away. Great awareness, though, by Haley Swain to pick it up. Almost gets the layup to fall. Does not. Rebound goes to the Cougars. Aziri taking the ball up the court on the right side. Swings it across back to Abraham, feeding the hot hand. Drives inside the paint. Gets the underhand layup to go. Past Lara Samfai. And it's a 7-point game all of a sudden. 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Timeout taken by Stanford. 7 points with 4 minutes, 24 seconds left to go on the clock. All the momentum swinging in the Cougars' favor, looking to win their first ever matchup against Stanford.
Yeah, and this crowd of mainly Cougar supporters, we do have a few Stanford supporters here, but Beasley Coliseum all of a sudden is rocking now as the Cougs are playing much better. They're forcing Stanford to get up shots deep in the paint. They're not going down. Cougs all of a sudden down 7 here with 4.5 left.
Well, the crowd is getting excited. This is probably one of the smaller crowds that the Cougars will be seeing this season. They are still showing their heart, and they're making it as difficult as possible for these Stanford players to score. But with that timeout, we're going to go to break as well. You're listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse. Welcome back to KUGR. Cougars trying to find their way back in it with only 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. They're putting Cardinal in the corner. Stanford, very unhappy, took that timeout. All the momentum swaying in the Cougars' favor. Stanford really not getting any of their shots to fall now in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Cougs are playing much better defense with Stanford's in the paint, like I said before we went to break.
Well, now they have it on the other side of the court. Trying to get it now on the corner. Swain has it at the top of the key. Feeding it inside into the post. Kick out to the right corner. It's an easy pass and an easy score inside. Lara Samfai gets a layup to fall, and it's back to a 9-point game. 3:58 on the clock now. Villa taking it up the court for the Cougars. Passes the midcourt line. Gets it to Abraham. Abraham driving in the post. Foul on the floor. Goes against Stanford. That appeared to be number 2, Haley Swain. And it'll be an inbound from the left side of the court.
You're right, it is Swain. The ref held up too. I wasn't sure if she was talking about Swain or Villa, but it was on Swain. That's going to be her first personal. That'll be the third team foul of the quarter or second team foul of the quarter for Washington State.
Well, with 12 seconds on the clock, Aziri has it at the top of the key. Swings it out to the right. Tanya Valenchik trying to find an open person. Gets it inside the paint to Charlotte Abraham. Abraham trying to find anything open. It's passed back out to Aziri. Aziri puts it up. It doesn't fall, but a tough rebound by Rude. But Rude puts up a bad shot. Falls off of the right side of the backboard. Easy rebound for the Cardinal. And with 3 minutes, 20 seconds in the clock and a 9-point lead, Stanford just wants to run this game out. Lapolo has it on the left wing. Gives it to Stevenson at the top of the key. Stevenson now on the left corner to Clardy. Clardy slowing the play down. Swain has it now at the top of the key. Screen coming to her left from Stevenson. Swain pulls it up from the left part of the key. It's going to be tipped up on the rebound. Fast break opportunity for the Cougars, but the numbers are not there in time, and they have to slow it down. The ball's at the top of the key from Abraham. Abraham pulls a tough shot, tightly guarded, and the ball does not go into the hoop. It's a rebound for the Cardinals. Cardinals have it on the top of the key now. Clardy inside to Samfai, and Samfai takes a tough shot, does not fall. Cougars trying to poke it, fast break forward, but it's poked away by Nunu Agara. And with fast play, the Cougars only have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and they need to be better with how they take their shot selection.
Yeah, they do. They do need to be better at that, but they are forcing a lot of Stanford out-of-bounds turnovers. They're only down by 9 here, so 2.5 left. They need to force misses and knock down some threes, which they almost did there.
Well, it was an immediate inbound to Rude, and Rude tried to pull a three-pointer from the left wing, but it goes out of bounds after the miss, and it's going to be Stanford's ball once again. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. Keandra Koritz is going to come back into the game
for Valancic.
Nuna Agara is going to inbound it on the far side of the court for the Cardinal. Apologies. Lapolo is going to be the one to take it up the court. Hands it off to Swain. Swain now to Clardy at the top of the key. Lots of movement inside the paint. Gets it to Stevenson, guarded by Aziri. Stevenson now is going to hand it to Lapolo, who almost loses it out of bounds. She's able to collect it. Has it now back again at the top of the key. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 2 minutes on the game clock. Clardy has it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. She's going to drive to the right, puts a shot up, but a whistle is blown. Foul on the play. It looks like it's going to go against the Cougars. 2 free throws coming up for the Cardinal, who already have the 9-point lead.
Well, I thought they were going to call this on Phil, but they're going to call this on Aziri instead. That's going to be her second personal. That's going to be now that's the second team foul for the Cougs. I messed up on the last foul. Stanford at 3 team fouls, Cougs at 2 now.
Clardy, her first free throw is up and it falls. 10-point lead now, 54-44, 1 minute, 58 seconds on the clock until the end of the game. Clardy, her second free throw. It hits the back iron, but it's a high rebound taken by the Cardinal. Foul on the play. Cougars played a little too aggressive, trying to steal it away from Agara. Great rebound off of the missed free throw, and Stanford will maintain possession.
Yeah, they're going to call another foul on the Cougs. They're going to call this one on Koritz. So that's going to be her second, or pardon me, that's going to be Koritz's third personal, so that'll be the third as well for the Cougs. So now Koritz is in foul trouble, joins Valancic and Abraham in that category for the Cougs.
1:55 on the clock. Clardy and the Cardinals looking to get an inbound in. 20 seconds on the shot clock after resets from the missed free throw. Time not in favor of the Cougars. Clardy gets it in, gets it right back to her. Swain now has it back at the Cougar logo near center court. He's going to drive a little bit to the left, but hands it off to Stevenson, back to the top of the key. Hand off to Lapolo, driving now to the left wing. Dribble is now handed off to Swain. Swain puts up the layup, but it doesn't fall. Stevenson gets the rebound. Bad rebounding from the Cougars, and the shot clock resets once again. 1:25 on the clock compared to 12 seconds on the shot clock. Stanford able to run down with a great offensive rebounds. Clardy now has it at the top of the key, gets it to Swain, left wing. Swain puts up the shot, but there's a foul away from the ball.
Yeah, they're going to call an illegal screen on Stanford on that one. Great defense by the Cougs, forcing 2 near shot clock violations. The first one, they got the shot off just in time. The second one, there was 3 seconds left on the clock, and they forced the offensive foul to be called on Clardy, which is going to be her second personal.
If you're the Cardinal, you're okay with that, though. Stanford just wants to run this clock out. And coming in for the Cougars is Tanya Valancic, coming in for Eleonora Villa. A little bit of an interesting switch right here, maybe getting a little more size. But with 10 points needed in just 1 minute and 10 seconds, Stanford playing tight, full court pressure. 20 seconds on the shot clock now. Haziri gets it onto the right wing behind the three-point line, trying to find somewhere to go. Screen from Rude, but 2 defenders on her. It's out of bounds off of Stanford player. 13 seconds on the shot clock, 57 on the game clock.
Yeah, and Jean Chu's going to come back in here for the Cougs. Let's see who she comes back in for. She's going to come in for Volančić. Yeah, I was going to say I thought that was a little risky to bring Volančić back in with 3 fouls. And she's only in for like 15 seconds of playing time.
Well, with only 1 minute left to play, this is do or die right now. Keandra Koritz has the ball, gives it right back to Chu. Chu back to Koritz off of the right wing. He's going to dribble inside the paint. Chu now has it out the right wing, puts up a tough shot, heavily guarded. Rebound does go to the Cougars. Aziri now has it. Chu, there's only 40 seconds left on the clock. Clock still running. Rude has it now, top of the key, hands it off. A little bit of contact there. Cougars has it, driving to the paint. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Foul on the floor. It might say it's in the act of shooting.
Well, it's going to be a shooting foul either ways because that's now the 15th foul for Stanford, so that puts WSU in the bonus. They're calling that on Vapola. That's her second personal. And if you're the Cougs, you want to make these free throws, obviously, but it seems like time's just about running out on them trying to make a miraculous comeback.
Koritz's first free throw is down. As many points as they can get, they'll take, and it's a 9-point game, 54-45, 28.9 left on the clock. Koritz, her second free throw is up, and it is good. 8-point game. 2 substitutions coming back in for the Cougars. Marta Alcina along with Tanya Volančić. A little bit of offensive and defensive switches on each possession.
Yeah, Volančić might be a little bit of a risky move, but she's only sitting at 3 fouls. If it was 4, definitely more risky, but they probably just want to get some better defense out there.
There's no difference between shot clock and game clock. Cougars need to force a turnover or foul, and they almost get one right there, but Stevenson has it under the hoop, but she doesn't put it. She still has it. Now they're going to call a timeout.
Oh, yeah, they are. I thought they were just going to hold for the last 11.8 seconds here, but they call a 30-second timeout instead.
Well, there's only 11.8 seconds left on the clock. This would be an insane and historic comeback if it does happen, but it's looking like the Stanford Cardinals will be moving to 4-0 on the season, and the Washington State Cougars moving to 0-4. That's something that was not expected, and a 4-game losing streak to start your season, really something that Cammie Etheridge was not wanting to see her girls do. But on the props to Stanford in the ACC, they're starting strong with their non-conference game. And there is still 11.8 seconds left on the clock. Stanford has possession, almost turned it over on that possession, but able to get it to Stevenson under the hoop, who then got it to almost out of bounds, but timeout was called. Inbound is handed cleanly to Clardy. Clardy, 8 seconds on the clock. It's poked loose. The Cougars do have it, but a travel is called.
Yeah, fans don't agree with that, but that's basically going to put this game to bed.
Tanya Volančić kind of got the ball too in her hands, but she rolled over with the ball, and the referees called a travel on it. Stevenson, once again, will be the one to inbound, but with that, with 4 seconds on the clock is going to go out, and the Stanford Cardinal get their 76th win in a row. They have not lost to the Cougars at all in their entire history between the two historic franchises. 54-46 is the final score, and Declan, that was quite a game.
Yeah, it was. We thought at the beginning that we had a chance at history here, but obviously it wasn't in the cards. We knew coming in this was going to be a tough game for the Cougs. As we all know, Stanford is in the tournament every single year. Whether they're not always in the Final Four, but they always seem to host tournament games every single year. Tough test for the Cougs. In this one, we thought they would have at least only one loss coming in, as they lost 2 games that they could have easily won in Idaho and Southern Utah. And frankly, probably should have won the Idaho game, but it doesn't get any easier, as their next home game I'll also be calling that one. It'll be next Wednesday here at Beasley against another former Pac-12 rival in the Oregon Ducks. So and Oregon's also been historically good, so it doesn't get any much easier for the Cougs. But I would say the main takeaway for the Cougs, yes, you lost this game, but you obviously have to be very happy. You only lost by 8 points, which out of only the last 32 games has only happened 3 times you lose by single digits. So, yes, I know the Cougs are disappointed about this loss, but they should not hang their heads high. They were competitive and they lost by single digits against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the entire country.
Well, it is a disappointing loss, and something that the Stanford Cardinal need to look at themselves for is they won this game only shooting 11% from 3, which is an insanely low number with how many shots that they took. But what they really matter and what they really care about is their W on the board, moving to 4-0. And with that, the next game right here in Beasley Coliseum will be called by Davis Hagan and Josiah Franklin. It's going to be the Washington State Cougars hosting the Washington Huskies in the Apple Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be a sold out Beasley, or maybe not sold out, but it's going to be a packed Beasley tonight. We have this is the first of 4 total events going on here on campus over the next 4 days, and we'll bring them all to you as they're all happening here. We also have volleyball taking on Seattle U tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and football taking on Louisiana Tech tomorrow at 7. I will be on the sidelines for that one. Nathan will have the volleyball call, so we make sure to join us for those, and also for the big game tonight against the Washington Huskies with Davis and Josiah. Should be a good one.
Well, with that, once again, my name is Nathan Eshelman. I'm joined by Declan Curran. Thank you for listening to KUGR Sports, the student voice of the Palouse.